It was a cold night on the snowy farm. Everything was quiet. Snowflakes fell slowly from the dark sky. The wind whispered through the trees. Rayhan was alone. Rayhan, a 23-year-old young man, was looking after his family's old farm in northern Pakistan. His parents had gone to the city for a week. He liked the silence, the cold, and the snow. He was used to the lonely nights here. He sat inside the warm wooden house, drinking hot chai and reading an old science fiction novel. His dog, Toffee, lay near the heater. Everything was calm, but suddenly, something strange happened. A bright blue light flashed across the sky. It wasn't a plane. It wasn't a helicopter. It made no sound. It was fast, like lightning, but it moved in a smooth curve. Rayhan stood up quickly and walked to the window. The light stopped in the middle of the sky, hovering like it was watching the earth. Then, in 1 second, it disappeared. What was that? Rayhan whispered. Toffee began barking, loud, angry, afraid. Rayhan put on his coat and boots. He picked up a small flashlight and walked outside. The cold air hit his face, and the snow crunched under his feet. The sky was dark again, but something was different. The air smelled strange, like metal and smoke. Toffee ran toward the barn, barking like crazy. Hey, what's going on? Rayhan shouted. He followed the dog and stopped near the trees. That's when he saw something very strange in the snow. Footprints, but not normal ones. These footprints were glowing blue, and they were not like human feet. They were long, slim, and had 3 toes. The snow around them was not melting. It was freezing harder. Rayhan bent down to touch one. It was ice cold. He followed the footprints. They were fresh. They led toward the old barn. The wind grew stronger. The trees shook. Rayhan's heart beat faster. Was someone there? He slowly opened the barn door. It creaked loudly. Inside, it was dark and quiet. He pointed his flashlight. Then he saw her, a girl, maybe his age, lying on the hay floor. She had long white hair and silver skin. She wore a suit that looked like glass but moved like cloth. Her body glowed softly in the dark. Rayhan couldn't believe his eyes. Was she human? She looked peaceful but weak. Her eyes were closed. Her arms had small glowing patterns. She was breathing, but slowly. Toffee stopped barking and sat down near her, confused. Rayhan whispered, "Who are you?" Suddenly the girl opened her eyes. They were glowing blue, like the sky before. She tried to speak. Her voice was soft and strange. "Don't be afraid. I need help," she said in broken Urdu. Rayhan stepped back. "Are you real?" She looked at him with tired eyes. "My name can't be said in your language. I crashed here." Rayhan's mind was racing. Was this a dream? Was he losing his mind? Was this some joke? But her eyes were kind, scared. She was in pain. He walked slowly toward her. "You're not from this world, are you?" She nodded slowly. He offered his hand. She touched it gently. Her fingers were cold, like snow, but soft. Suddenly, Rayhan's radio crackled from his jacket. A voice came through, rough and sharp. "This is Unit 9. We saw an energy spike in Sector 7C. Send a team now. It might be foreign tech or drone. Possible national threat." Rayhan's eyes widened. That was the ISI radio frequency. Somehow they had noticed the alien landing. He turned to the girl. "We don't have time. They're coming for you." She sat up slowly, holding her side. "I didn't mean to come here. My ship was hit. I just wanted to see Earth. I didn't want war." Rayhan helped her stand. "Come with me. You can't stay here." Outside, the wind howled louder. In the distance, faint sounds of vehicles could be heard, coming fast through the snow. Girl looked at him with glowing eyes. "Why are you helping me?" Rayhan smiled. "I don't know, but I feel like I should." Escape through the blizzard. The wind was wild. Snow fell like white knives, cutting through the air. Rayhan held the alien girl's hand tightly as they ran through the snowy darkness. Her steps were light, almost floating. But she was weak, injured, behind them. Headlights appeared in the distance. The ISI patrol trucks were close, too close. Rayhan didn't have a plan. He only knew one thing. They had to disappear. The girl looked at him with tired eyes, glowing faintly. They are following? Yes, Rayhan said, breathing hard. They're fast. We must go where they can't. She stopped for a moment. I can hide, but not alone. Rayhan pointed toward an old hunting shed in the forest. Small, hidden, forgotten. There, he said, we'll rest there. Just for a moment. They ran into the woods, branches whipping against Rayhan's coat. The cold was biting now. Even Toffee was struggling to keep up. Inside the shed, it was dark and broken. But safe, for now. Rayhan helped her sit down on a wooden crate. Her breathing was uneven. Her silver suit flickered with light. He knelt beside her. What's your name? She looked at him softly. I don't have a name you can say, but you may call me Ayla. Ayla, Rayhan repeated. Why did you come to Earth? Ayla looked out at the snow. To learn. To feel. To see what humans love, what they fear. But they shot my ship. I crashed. I thought I would die. Rayhan shook his head. Not if I can help it. Suddenly, a soft beep came from her wrist device. She tapped it. A glowing image appeared in the air, a map with blinking red dots. They are using scanners, she said. They will find us soon. Rayhan looked at the map. The red dots were moving closer. I know a cave, he said. Deep inside the valley. No signals work there. Can you walk? Ayla stood slowly, her strength returning. Yes, but we must go now. Before they could leave, a noise came from outside, crunching snow. Footsteps. Rayhan froze. He peeked through the wooden wall crack. 2 soldiers were nearby, holding thermal scanners. I saw something move. One said, check the shed, Rayhan whispered. They're here. Ayla stepped forward. I can use a pulse. It will blind there. Scanner, only for seconds. Do it, Rayhan said. She raised her hand and a soft blue pulse spread from her fingers. The air vibrated. Outside, the soldiers shouted, my scanner's dead. What the hell was that? Backup, call for backup, now. Rayhan grabbed Ayla's hand and they ran again, deeper into the forest, through the heavy snow, across the frozen stream. For a moment, there was silence. Only the wind. And the sound of fast footsteps on ice. They reached the valley. The cave entrance was hidden behind frozen bushes. Rayhan pulled them aside. Ayla crawled in first, then Rayhan, then Toffee. Inside it was dark, dry, and quiet. Rayhan lit a small lantern. The yellow light danced on the stone walls. Ayla sat against the cave wall, breathing hard. Rayhan sat beside her. Are you okay? She nodded. I used too much energy. I need to rest. Toffee curled up beside her, strangely calm now. Rayhan looked at her, confused but curious. Why don't you fight them? You have power. Ayla looked at him sad. Because I came here to understand humans, not to destroy them. My kind doesn't believe in war. But your world is afraid of anything different. Rayhan was silent. Then he asked, you regret coming? Ayla looked at him, a soft, strange smile on her lips. No, she whispered. I met you. Rayhan felt something stir in his chest. Something he didn't understand. A connection. A strange warmth, even in the freezing cave. Suddenly, Ayla's device lit up again. Her eyes widened. What is it? Rayhan asked. They're bringing drones, she said. Flying scanners. Nothing can hide from them. Rayhan stood up. Then we don't wait. We move before they find this place. Ayla looked at him, tired. But trusting. There's something else, she said. They're not the only ones coming. Rehan frowned. What do you mean? Ayla turned her glowing eyes toward him. My people. They found my signal. And now they're coming. 2. Rehan's eyes widened. Two sides. Two forces. And he was stuck in the middle. With a girl not from this world. The cave was cold and silent. Rehan and Ayla sat close to the small lantern, shadows dancing on the stone walls. Outside, the snowstorm was dying. But something darker was rising. Ayla's glowing fingers tapped the small silver device on her wrist. A strange light appeared, like a floating window made of energy. It showed a sky, but not Earth sky. It was purple. 2 moons hung above mountains of crystal. A soft sound hummed, music almost. Like whispers, Rehan stared, speechless. What is that? Ayla's voice was soft. My home. The light shifted. It showed beings, tall, silver-skinned, walking slowly, their robes glowing with stars. They didn't talk. They moved like dancers, calm and wise. Rehan felt small, like a child staring at the universe. Your world. It's beautiful. He whispered. Ayla nodded. But I never felt free there. Everything is planned. No one laughs. No one runs. We live long lives. But we don't live. She turned to him. Her eyes were sad. That's why I came here, to feel chaos. Emotion. Choice. Rehan smiled a little. You got that. Chaos and emotion. Welcome to Earth. They both laughed softly. But the moment was broken. A sharp buzzing filled the air. Ayla's device blinked red. What's that? Rehan asked. Ayla's face changed. A signal ping. From my ship. Someone found it. Your ship? Rehan blinked. Where is it? It crashed not far. Buried in snow. I left it to avoid being seen. Rehan stood up. If they find it, they'll know I'm alive, Ayla said. And they'll come faster. Rehan's mind raced. Can it still fly? Ayla shook her head. It's broken. But it has. Something more dangerous, a star core. A star what? A living energy source. If someone opens it, they won't survive. Not your people, not even mine. Rehan stared at her. And ISI agents are on their way to find that thing? She nodded slowly. Rehan grabbed his coat. Then we go first. We get there before they do. Ayla looked at him. You would risk your life for me? He smiled. I already did. Might as well keep going. They stepped out of the cave just as the wind slowed. The sky was a dark gray, morning still far away. Toffee followed close, loyal and alert. They moved fast through the snow. Ayla used her device to guide them, creating a soft blue light trail, invisible to the human eye. Minutes passed. Then, through the trees, they saw it. A black crater in the white snow. Steam rose from the ground. The snow around it had melted into ice. In the middle was the wreckage of a ship, sleek, curved, and glowing from inside. Rehan whispered, That's a spaceship. A real one. Ayla moved to it, touching the smooth surface. Her hand lit up. A door opened with a soft hiss. Inside, the ship was cold but alive. Soft lights blinked on. Strange symbols moved across the walls. A small glowing orb floated in the center. It pulsed like a heart. Blue, then white, then blue again. Rehan stepped back. That's the star core? Ayla nodded. Yes, it's alive. It feels everything. If it senses violence, it defends itself. Rehan looked at her. Can you shut it down? She closed her eyes. Yes, but it will take time. Suddenly a voice called out, Put your hands up. Don't move. Rehan spun around. 3 ISI agents stood in the snow, guns pointed at them. Red laser dots danced. On his chest, the lead agent stepped forward. We tracked the energy signal. Step away from the object. Ayla stepped in front of Rehan. Please, this is dangerous. You don't understand. Silence, the agent barked. Who are you? What is this craft? You're under arrest, then. The star core blinked red dot. It felt fear, and it reacted. A burst of light and sound exploded from the ship, knocking the agents off their feet. Snow flew into the air. Trees shook. Rayhan fell to the ground, covering his head, when the light faded. Everything was quiet again. The agents lay unconscious. Rayhan sat up. What just happened? Ayla looked at the orb. It was pulsing fast. It's scared now. And when it's scared, it defends. If more soldiers come, it might destroy everything. Rayhan stood, breathing heavy. Then we move it. We hide it. Ayla looked at him, surprised. Where? He pointed toward the mountains. I know a frozen cave deep in the glacier. No one goes there. It's dangerous. She placed her hand on his shoulder. Then we go together. They turned back to the ship. The glowing heart of a distant world floated between them, waiting, but above them, far beyond the clouds. Something else had seen the explosion. A new signal was now coming, not from Earth, not from Pakistan, but from another galaxy. The sky was changing. Above the snow-covered mountains, clouds were spinning in slow, perfect circles. Not natural, not normal, like something was watching from space. Rayhan didn't notice at first how he was busy pulling a heavy sled across the frozen trail, his breath fogging in the cold air. On the sled was the alien star core, now sealed inside a glowing metal case. It pulsed softly, like it was sleeping. Behind him walked Ayla, her steps light but tired. Her silver skin was pale. Her eyes watched the sky more than the ground. Toffee walked silently beside them, no barking now. Even the dog knew something had changed. They were moving toward the glacier cave, hidden deep in the mountains. It was dangerous, but it was the only place Ayla said the star core could stay without being tracked. Rayhan looked back. Are you okay? Ayla nodded, but she didn't smile. Something is wrong. I can feel it. The sky is speaking. Rayhan raised an eyebrow. What does that mean? She didn't answer right away. Then she said quietly, my people are coming. But so are others. Others? Rayhan asked. She stopped walking. Not everyone in the galaxy wants peace. The wind grew stronger. The snow began to fall again, but not normal snow. The flakes shimmered like they were made of light. Suddenly, Ayla's wrist device glowed. A soft voice echoed from it, calm, musical, and not in Urdu or English. A strange, ancient language. Ayla listened carefully. Rayhan asked, Is that your people? No, she whispered. It's a warning. She turned to Rayhan. They are sending someone to take the star core, not to rescue me. Not to help, but to control it, and they will destroy anything in the way. Rayhan felt a chill, not from the cold. He looked up at the sky. Then we have to move faster. They reached the glacier cave just before nightfall. The entrance was narrow and sharp. Rayhan had only been here once as a kid, and even then, only for minutes. It was dangerous, slippery, filled with tunnels like a maze, but inside it was perfect. The walls were made of blue ice. The temperature dropped fast. No signals would get out. No scanners would work here. Rayhan helped Ayla set the star core on a smooth stone platform. She touched the case, and it opened with a soft hiss. The glowing orb floated above it again, blue, calm, humming quietly. It's resting, she said. But it's still fear. Rayhan stared at it. It's like a living creature. It is, she said softly. More alive than most people I've met. She looked at him. So are you. Rayhan's heart skipped. They sat in silence, close. But not touching. After a few minutes, Ayla whispered, In my world, love is not allowed. Emotion is seen as weakness. Rayhan smiled gently. Then I guess I'm very weak. She smiled back, a small, real smile. But the moment shattered again. From outside the cave, a deep rumble echoed. Rayhan stood. Avalanche? Ayla shook her head. No, something has landed. They rushed outside and stopped in shock. Above the mountain, Floating silently was a ship, but not like Ayla's ship. This one was black, sharp, and pulsing with red light. It looked like a predator, not a traveler. Ayla's face turned pale. "That's not my people," Rihan stared. "Then who are they?" Ayla whispered a name Rihan couldn't pronounce. Then said, "They were watching, waiting. They want the Star Corps to power their war machines." Rihan clenched his fists. "And now they're here." Ayla turned to him, serious. "If they take it, Earth will become their base. Your planet will not survive." Rihan looked at the glowing orb inside the cave. "Then we don't let them take it." Suddenly, a figure appeared from the sky, not flying. Falling dot, it landed hard on the mountain snow, making the earth shake. It stood tall, 8 feet, armored in black. Its face was covered. Its eyes glowed red dot. It didn't speak, but it began walking straight toward the cave. Ayla pulled Rihan back. "Run, now." "No," Rihan said. "We fight." She looked at him in pain. "You can't stop that thing. Even I can't." Rihan stepped forward anyway. "Maybe not, but I won't let it take your heart." "Or mine," the black creature raised its arm, a weapon forming from its metal wrist. Ayla stepped beside. Reha. The Star Corps inside the cave woke up. It felt their fear. It felt their bond. And for the first time, it reacted not with defense, but with choice. A second pulse echoed, but this one was golden. It surrounded Rihan and Ayla in a light shield. The creature fired. The energy hit the shield and exploded, throwing snow and ice in all directions. Opened his eyes. He was still alive. Ayla looked at the Star Corps, amazed. "It's protecting us." The creature stood again, now angry. But above them, in the sky, something else appeared. Another ship. This one was Ayla's people. The sky had become a battlefield, and the war for the Star Corps, and for Earth, had begun. The mountains echoed with thunder. Not from clouds, but from warships in the sky. 2 vessels floated above the frozen valley. One black and angry, the other silver and still. Ayla stared up at them. Her people had arrived. But so had their enemies. And deep in the glacier cave, the Star Corps pulsed brighter than ever, glowing gold now, not blue. It was awake and watching. Rihan stood at the cave entrance, a broken axe in his hand. He knew it was useless against alien machines, but it made him feel less small. Beside him, Ayla was silent. Her glowing eyes flickered between the sky and the snow. She was listening, not to sound, but to signals in the air, messages only she could hear. Finally, she spoke. "Both sides want the Star Corps," Rihan nodded. "One wants power." "What about your people?" She turned toward him. "They want control, not war, but not freedom either. If they take it, they'll bury it forever. Hide it, use it to keep their order." Rihan frowned. "And if the black ship gets it?" Ayla's eyes darkened. "Then your world burns." Rihan looked back at the golden orb, humming quietly inside the ice cave. "What does it want?" Ayla shook her head. "It doesn't think like us. It responds to energy, to emotion. Fear, peace, love, pain. Right now, it's waiting for a choice." Rihan stepped closer. "Whose choice?" She looked into his eyes. "Yours." Before he could answer, the ground shook. A tall armored figure, the same black hunter from before, marched through the snow. Its face was metal, eyes red, and hands glowing with deadly light. Behind it came 2 more weapons, formed from their arms, sharp and humming. Rihan stepped forward, but Ayla pulled him back. "No, let me." She walked toward the hunters. Her body glowed brighter with each step, hair rising in the icy wind. She raised her hands. "I am Ayla of Illyria," she said, her voice louder than the storm. "This world is not yours." The lead hunter didn't speak. It fired. A white beam shot toward her, fast, hot, deadly. But before it touched her, The star core reacted. A golden shield exploded from the cave, blocking the blast. The energy pushed the hunters back like leaves in wind. Ayla turned to the cave. It's listening to me now. Rayhan shouted, "Can you use it?" She nodded. "Maybe, but only if it trusts me. And only if I speak with my truth, not my training." The hunters rose again. They charged. Rayhan grabbed a fallen ISI rifle from the snow. "Guess we fight anyway." He aimed, fired, missed. The hunter raised its weapon, but was suddenly hit by a beam of silver light. The silver ship above had opened fire. Ayla's people had joined the battle. The sky became lightning. Beams of red and silver crossed the clouds. Snow melted where fire touched. The sound was like thunder mixed with screams. Ayla ran to Rayhan. "My people are helping, but they'll take me when this is over. And they'll take the core." Rayhan looked at her. "Then we have to decide now, what happens to it?" Ayla turned to the orb, now floating above its case, glowing like a small sun. "I can speak to it, but only with your help." Rayhan stepped forward. "Tell me what to do." She took his hand and guided it toward the orb. "Close your eyes," she said. "Think of everything we've shared, the fear, the laughter, the silence, the truth." Rayhan did. He remembered the night she fell from the sky, the footprints glowing in the snow, the cave, the firelight, her soft smile, the way she said, "You may call me Ayla." He remembered how human she felt and how unlike anyone he had ever known. The orb pulsed. Ayla closed her eyes too. "I speak not as soldier," she whispered, "but as a soul. I ask not for power, but for peace. I ask not for control, but for a chance." The star core changed. Its glow turned soft, warm. It floated between them, then vanished, turning into pure energy that wrapped around both their hands. Ayla opened her eyes. "It chose." Rayhan looked at her. "What did it choose?" She smiled through tears. "It chose us." The black hunters fell back, powerless. The silver ship quieted. The energy from the core had vanished into Ayla and Rayhan together. Not as a weapon, not as a machine, but as a bond. A living peace, hidden in two hearts, but far above. A third ship was watching, silent, unknown, and not from Ayla's world. The sky had gone still. No more weapons. No more ships firing. The snowflakes finally began to fall like they used to, soft, quiet, harmless. The black hunters were gone. The silver ship, Ayla's people, hovered high above, silent and watching. But Rayhan knew it wasn't over. Inside the glacier cave, the star core was no longer floating. Its energy had been absorbed into Rayhan and Ayla. Somehow, the powerful alien heart had chosen them. Together. But neither of them fully understood what that meant. They sat by the icy wall. Toffee rested near them, ears twitching. The silence around them was heavy, like the mountain was holding its breath. Ayla looked pale, not from cold, but from something else. "Something is wrong," she said. Softly, Rayhan looked at her. "What is it?" She closed her eyes. "The sky has changed again." He followed her gaze. High above the clouds, a new shape appeared. No color, no glow, no fire, just a dark, perfect circle, silently blocking stars. No engine, no sound, no message. Just watching. Rayhan whispered, "Is that another ship?" Ayla nodded, but her face showed something new, fear. "That's not from my world, not from the hunters. That's from them." "Who's them?" She took a shaky breath. "We call them the Null." Rayhan frowned. "Null?" Ayla looked at him. "They don't build. They don't speak. They only erase planets, stars, memories. When they come, even time forgets." Rayhan shivered. "Why are they here?" She turned to him. "They felt the star core choose you, and they don't allow choice." A strange wind blew across the snow. Not cold, not warm. Just wrong. The silver ship sent down a message. A soft light, showing symbols in the air. Ayla read them aloud. Retreat. Null presence confirmed. Mission failed. Prepare for return. She stood. They're leaving, she said. My people don't fight the null. No one does. Rehan stood too. But we have the core now. Can we stop them? Ayla shook her head. It's not about stopping. It's about hiding. Surviving. They erase what remembers. Rehan clenched his fists. I don't care who they are. They don't get to erase this. He pointed at the cave. At what we did. He pointed to her heart. Who you are. And then his own. Who I've become. Ayla looked at him. A tear slipping down her silver cheek. They will try. Unless we do something no one's ever done. Rehan stepped forward. What? She walked into the cave again, knelt where the star core had floated. It gave us something, a part of itself. That means we can do what it could never do alone. Rehan watched her hands glow, faint gold light from her palms now. And from his too. You and I, she said, are now memory. Living memory. The null can't erase what lives in more than one soul. She stood and looked deep into his eyes. But we must hide it, deep, where no scanner, no hunter, no god can touch it. Rehan nodded. Where? She smiled, sad and beautiful, inside a story. That night, Rehan and Ayla climbed to the highest peak above the glacier. The silver ship blinked once and vanished into the stars. Ayla had told them she was gone. Dead, lost. They believed her. Below them, Earth slept quietly, unaware of the danger that had almost erased it. And above them, the black circle still watched. Ayla took Rehan's hand. Their joined glow lit the snow. If they come, she whispered, this world will forget, but not us. Never us. Rehan leaned closer. So what do we do now? She looked out over the snowy valley. We plant the memory, she said. We let it grow in dreams, in stories, in hearts. So when they erase, something always remains. Rehan blinked. You mean? Like telling the truth through a lie? She smiled. That's what stories are. Suddenly the air cracked. Dark circle above them began to lower. Not fast. Not slow. Just inevitable. Ayla turned to him. We don't run now. Rehan nodded. No, we remember. The glow between them grew brighter, gold soft, alive, and then there was nothing. No sound, no storm. Just silence. Years later, in the same snowy region, a boy found an old radio hidden in a tree trunk. It was dead, broken, but when he touched it, it whispered something. A name. Ayla. And a voice, soft and distant. I fell from the sky, and someone caught me. Years passed. The snow kept falling on the same quiet valley. Trees grew, people came and went. Wars were fought and forgotten. But the land remembered, buried deep in its frozen bones, was a story. No one remembered the alien ships. No one knew about the star core. No news reported the strange blackout that covered this mountain long ago. But the snow remembered. And one night, under a sky full of stars, a little girl named Sarah followed a strange blue fox she saw in her dream. She lived in a village. Nearby, people said she was odd. She talked to animals. She drew glowing circles in the dirt. She said things like, the stars are listening. Her parents thought it was imagination. But the fox was real. It led her to a forgotten cave, hidden beneath the glacier. There she found an old lantern, a broken axe, and a name carved into stone. Rehan plus Ayla. The girl touched the letters, and the cave breathed. A soft golden light lit the ice walls. Symbols shimmered for a second, like a memory trying to return. Sarah blinked. In front of her appeared two glowing figures, a boy and a girl, holding hands. The girl had silver skin and blue eyes. The boy looked like someone from the village, but older. Wiser. They smiled at her. Sarah stepped back. Who are you? The girl's voice was soft. We are what was almost erased. The boy added, but you are what survived. Sarah didn't understand the words, but she felt them in her heart. Warm, gentle, like a hug in winter. The cave changed. Images filled. The ice, ships falling, snowstorms, creatures of metal, a glowing orb, a kiss on a frozen mountain. Then silence again. The girl's voice returned. Do you want to know the story? Sarah nodded. So they told her. They told her how Ayla, a visitor from the stars, came to Earth not to fight, but to feel. To live freely. They told her how she met Rehan, a boy who lived in the quiet, who listened instead of feared. They told her how the world above wanted to erase them. To erase choice. To erase love. But Rehan and Ayla became the memory the universe could not delete. They became the story, and stories, they said, are seeds. If you carry it, Ayla whispered, then we are not gone. Sarah blinked. What do I do? Rehan smiled. Tell it, draw it, whisper it into the trees. Let someone else remember, even if they don't know why. The cave began to fade. The golden light dimmed. The fox waited. Outside, Ayla looked at her one last time. Thank you for hearing. U.S. And then they were gone. Sarah went home that night and told her parents what she saw. They laughed kindly, thinking it was just a dream. She didn't mind. She drew Rehan and Ayla in her notebook. She wrote the story in her diary. She whispered it to her cat at night. And one day, when she grew older, she told it on a small video blog on an old phone with poor lighting under a cheap blanket. That video reached a boy in another city. He turned it into a short film. That film was shared by a teacher in a village school. A student painted a poster of it on a wall. Years later, that image appeared in a child's book. And then a comic. Then a song. The names changed. The details shifted. But always a glowing girl. A quiet boy. A snowy world. A star that chose love over power. And far, far beyond Earth. A black ship floated near a dead star. Inside it, a machine scanned the galaxy. Looking for the star core. Looking for what it once almost erased. Suddenly, the scanner blinked. A faint pulse. Not energy. Not sound, but something more dangerous. A story. The machine paused. Then turned away. It was too late now. The story had rooted. It lived in voices, in drawings, in memories. It had become human. And the snow? It still falls, but now when it touches the ground, sometimes it glows, just a little, like someone somewhere still remembers. Rehan, Ayla, and the love that fell from the stars.